Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Rougher football here on TV 15. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. The Rafe Watkins era is underway. Coach, I know it's not the way you wanted to start this history book, but certainly it gives you something to build on.
Well, we do have something to build on. And as you said, it was not the night that we wanted. Started off pretty good. When we had the 7-7, we answered their score and got down there at the end of the first quarter, 7-7. We take a 3-and-out. To start in the second quarter, and we're driving. We have our first of many turnovers, it seemed like.
I think all in all it was 3 on the night.
3, but it seemed like 10, just to the fact that we put it on the ground too many times, which also killed drives. But when we get ball security and we'll talk more about our tackling in a little bit, but those two things really plagued us all night long. And again, you got a great team in McAlester. Coach Pratt and his staff do a great job. They have some great athletes. We had the bad snap on the punt, and it kind of just spiraled from there. It was 14-7 at that time, and then we gave up 1 score before half, and then they got the ball back to start the second half. But kids never quit. They kept driving, and there was a couple other times that we're getting down to the 20 and we fumble the ball, and it's just, until you have ball security, it's going to be hard to win ball games when you don't take care of the ball.
One thing about it, in last Friday night's ball game, the Roughers got to find out if you were truly in condition. It was extremely hot and humid, and all in all, Roughers fared well in that category.
We did. Was proud of you try to look for bright spots in it. We didn't have many penalties. We didn't have the cramping and stuff that they were suffering, but bottom line is we know we've got a long way to go. The conditioning I am proud of. The kids have been working hard for us, and they've been working hard. They're trying, but we just made too many silly mistakes that championship type teams can't make. If we could play the worst team on our schedule, and if we have that type of turnover ratio and missed tackles, we can't beat them.
It'll be a tough week, but there were many bright spots, and we're going to see some of those highlights from Week 1's action when the Roughers traveled to McAlester to take on the Buffaloes. And one of the bright spots was a young man that I know you expected a lot of. That's the running of Cantrell Ashley.
Yeah, Cantrell, opened the first play and went to sweep with him. He just trips up there. He goes the distance, had 11-yard gain. Here you see us in our Cougar sets, just a little bunch set, and we hit James Buckhannon on a rollout. We're rolling pretty good here. This is all just the first 2 plays of the game. We're going long. Nice play on a 3rd down. I think that's Tavian Davis out there, gets about 24 yards out of it. I thought that we did a good job on our short passing game. We were crisp. Again, there's Bryson Bell with our little scat route that we run. But our short passing game I thought was very solid. We got to do a better job in trying to press it downfield. Cantrell Ashley again with out of our Cougar set, just an A-quick, and Q right here on the touchdown with the speed option, but their guy went inside, so we didn't have to pitch off of him. We got to the secondary level, and he went in, and that was a great drive. That was answered. It was about a 70-yard drive, about 11 plays, took about 5 minutes off the clock, and that's what we had to do to answer their score. Now then we're starting second quarter, and we got to do the same thing, but then we get into some of our turnover troubles, and here's Elijah Gilbert. I thought he ran really hard on the night. Here's about a 15, 16-yard gain. Did a good job of getting it up inside and hitting at our line. I want to talk about them a little bit. Right there you see a surge, and we did a good job for the most part on the line. We didn't do fare too well sometimes when they did some little stunts inside that we hadn't worked on. So it's something that we can work on this week, and we will get better.
Well, certainly the execution when all things – you punched all the right buttons. Here's something you're wanting out of your quarterback. A nice little move there by Q. He kind of left the defensive back hanging. But you're wanting him to be able to run the football. Now, defensively, we saw some big highlights, too. First one here is a guy that we'll see in our second segment, Cameron Curl, a little sophomore with a nice PBU.
Cameron bringing his hand in, ripping the ball out, and he was all over the place the other night. He had 11 tackles on the night, 3 pass breakups, and even got in on some stunting of the quarterback. And he's got a tremendous upside. His just being a sophomore, he can run, jump, and just has every tangible that you want for a safety.
Tavian Davis led that last bunch of Roughers collapsing on the quarterback. Dalton Wood here again trying to run. And once again, we see White Church, Jared Lopes, Noah Ashley getting in on the stop. then dropping back in coverage, waiting, and getting a fingertip on it to knock it away as TD. I mean, Davis was just...
Tavian had a great night. He was our second leading tackler with 10 tackles.
Exactly.
And, so, you know, the thing that we're talking about as a staff is they had great games, but you really don't want to see your two safeties with 11 and 10 tackles. That's letting you know that we're not getting it taken care of up front in the defensive line and linebackers. We had way too many missed tackles. You know, we talked about our fumble problems on offense. We had 30 missed tackles on defense, and you're not going to beat a great team like them. You know, their tailback runs so hard. Well, here we do a great job of swarming the ball. Their quarterback's about 6'4", 235. We'd hit him at times, but we were just leaving our feet. We're swarming the ball. We're getting there. But we've got to move our feet, and we're going to continue to work on that. Coach Heath and defensive staff worked on it yesterday at practice. They'll work on it the next 2 days, and we can only get better.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to give you a chance each and every week to meet one of the members of the football team, and a guy that we've already mentioned, 22 on the program, Cameron Curl, sophomore, who had an outstanding game for his first ever varsity scrimmage. He'll be our guest here on Rougher Football after this timeout on TV 15.
It's going to be a tough game with Owasso. We all realize that. Tough road trip down to McAlester.
Can someone tell me how to get on RougherTV?
Excuse me, young lady, but do you even know how to get on the internet?
No.
Well, it's simply really easy. Take your phone and follow me. Look right here, punch rougher.tv.
Okay.
You got it? You see there where it says click live?
Yeah.
Do you watch football? Will you follow the Roughers on your phone or on your computer?
Sure.
Sure, just like everyone else can. At home or on the road, follow Coach Watkins and the Roughers here in 2014. You can watch it and hear it live at rougher.tv, and then click live to follow all the action of 2014 Muskogee Rougher football. Welcome back here on TV 15 as a part of our Rougher Coaches Show. Each and every week, we're going to give you a chance to meet the Roughers. And, Coach, I know you're very proud of this young man that sits between us, just a sophomore, but he was an impact player in week one.
He was. You know, Cameron was our player of the game, defensively and for overall, had 11 tackles, 3 batted balls. Just played outstanding, and you know we've bragged on him all summer long. I told you about him last spring. I think he's got his upside's tremendous. He can run, he can jump, he's long. I think he's got an outstanding future ahead of him if he continues to work. We got to get him stronger. He's got them old chicken arms. We got to get him a little bit stronger, but he gets that. He's going to be an outstanding player. 22
on the program for the Roughers, Cameron Curl. Now, Cameron, last Friday night against McAlester as a sophomore, were the lights a little bit bright? Were you a little bit excited when the game first got going?
Yeah, you know, I had nerves before the game, but right when we got that first hit, they all went away. Yeah,
exactly. It was just football from that point on. Yeah. What do you like about playing in the Rougher secondary?
It's a different defense. It gets more athletes on the field, and you know, faster athletes. We get to the ball fast, and that's what I like.
Now, speaking of fast, Coach, this young man showed some wheels last Friday night because it looked like the Buffalo player was going to take it to the house. KC says, not so fast, my friend.
Well, it was the perfect instance of what you look for. The game was 28-7 at that time. It's late, not looking very good for us. They hit a little slip screen on the far side, and instead of just sitting there and watching, you know, you see it's what coaches always want to see is the hustle play. And Cameron comes from all the way on the backside and tackles him at the 1. Now, again, they got in the next play, but the thing is he gave us an opportunity to at least do a goal line stand and never gave up. And that's what you're looking for is the hustle plays, and that's what we got to have a bunch out of more than just Cameron and a lot of other kids.
Exactly. Casey, how fast was it chasing that guy down? Did you think you had him?
I did, like when probably at the 10-yard line. I started gaining on him a lot. And so I tried to rip the ball, but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. How you got him down short of the goal line. Now, answer me this question. Where does the speed come from? Does it come from Dad or does it come from Mom?
I mean, they were both athletes in high school. I think my dad likes to take up for that.
He probably takes the credit, Coach, but probably Mom deserves all the credit.
If you look at it right now, I'd say it comes from Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Now, was the game faster than what you maybe thought it would be last Friday night, and will you feel much more comfortable in week 2?
Well, our offense, we got fast people on offense. So during practice, that's what really got me prepared for the game. You know, we had a lot of speed on offense, so I feel good.
So you'll be ready for this week against Owasso?
Yes.
Hey, it's a guy you'll get a chance to see all throughout 2014, and not only this year, Coach. The good thing about Cameron Curl, he's just a sophomore, so it's this year plus 2.
That's right. We got him for 2 more years after this, and there's a whole lot of football to play in between there, and I just look for great things for Cameron.
22 on your program, number 1 in the hearts of the Roughers, Cameron Curl, a sophomore, our Rougher Player of the Week. Back with a visit about this week's upcoming game from Muskogee. That after this timeout, you're watching Rougher football on TV 15.
It's going to be a tough game with Owasso. We all realize that. Tough road trip down to McAlester.
Can someone tell me how to get on RougherTV?
Excuse me, young lady, but do you even know how to get on the internet?
No.
Well, it's simply really easy. Take your phone and follow me. Look right here, punch Rougher.tv.
Okay.
You got it? You see there where it says click live?
Yeah.
Do you watch football? Will you follow the Roughers on your phone or on your computer?
Sure.
Sure, just like everyone else can. At home or on the road, follow Coach Watkins and the Roughers here in 2014. You can watch it and hear it live at Rougher.tv and then click live to follow all the action of 2014 Muskogee Rougher football. Welcome back, everybody, here on TV 15. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Roughers, Rafe Watkins. Chapter number 1 is written, wadded up maybe, and thrown aside. Now you go to week 2, and it doesn't get any easier because coming in is a big, talented football team, Owasso Rams.
They are. Owasso is an outstanding football team. You know, a lot throughout the state that came across last Friday night as Owasso upset Broken Arrow, and myself included. I would have figured that to be an upset, but once you watch the film Saturday morning and got to looking at everything, it really wasn't an upset. Owasso was just flat out better than them. They're bigger up front. They have some nice speed at the wideouts. Quarterback's an outstanding athlete. He is really, really a good athlete for us, and we thought last week's quarterback might be the best. He does some different things. He's not as big and physical as Dalton Wood from McAlester, but he's a great competitor and leader for his team. And they got a nice little tailback. And then their defensive front 4 is very stout. Their defensive end, Anderson kid, he is going to Tulsa, or is committed to Tulsa. And he is what, to me, epitomizes that you want every high school defensive player to do. There's one play in the game where, and again, he's playing against great competition in Broken Arrow, gets knocked down twice and still ends up making the play on the far side for about a 4-yard gain. So that's his motor runs all the time. Secondary, you know, it's pretty average. It's a good secondary, but if we can get some time up front, we should be able to run some short passing game. But overall, we're going to have to play so much better than we did last week. I know from the outside looking in, it's going to be one of those nobody gives us a chance. But as long as 22 kids that are on the field thinks they have a chance, that's the most important thing. And they're going into this believing they're going to win.
Well, as you saw in the last break, we were kind of interrupted, Coach, trying to record our program. And let's give it up to Caitlin Tony. She did come in and ask the question, where can you follow Rougher football? And not only can you do it on radio if you're in your car or home at 100.3 FM, but you can also follow the broadcast as well as the video easily at home or on the road at Rougher.tv. That's kind of an added convenience for our fans to be able to keep up with what's going on.
Right, and I'm not very good with computers and stuff, but I
can attest to that.
I think I can handle Rougher TV.
Rougher.tv. It's really easy. Just punch it in, and then when you see the phrase "click live," click your mouse right there, and the game will pop up. And you can watch the action of this Friday night's game at home against Owasso, as well as the rest of 2014. Coach, it's going to be a big ball game Friday night. Need a big crowd at Muskogee Creek Nation Field, the first home game of 2014.
It is. Come out and support these kids. You know they're working their tails off. It's the opening game of the season here at home. First of 3 in a row that we have with Fayetteville and then Sapulpa following that. But the kids, you know, get out and support them. They're a great group of young men. They work hard for me every day. I can't say enough good things about them, and we are going to get better.
This is your football team, Muskogee, so come out and join us Friday night. Want to remind you it's 7 o'clock start time. Our pregame countdown to kickoff on Rougher.tv and 100.3 FM will be at 6:30, but the game begins at 7 o'clock. Be in your seat cheering on the Roughers as they take on the Owasso Rams. For head coach Rafe Watkins and our Rougher of the Week, Cameron Curl, I'm Bill Huddleston. Join us here next week when we talk more things Muskogee Rougher football on TV 15.